WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And today I have a whiskey from Spain. Ooh, not an abducted whiskey that I've had before recently, but rather a real Spanish whiskey made in the Basque region of Spain, real close to France. Now, this is AGOT, A-G-O-T, and when you Google it, you actually see that the name of the discriminated people they were talking about in English, at least, and also in German, is C-A-G-O-T, Cagot. And you have the nice little Picasso design here. This is from the Basque Moonshiners, a fairly new group of people there making interesting spirits. They have a Bass Moon, which is a vodka. They have a Patter, which is a potato spirit. Very, very interesting things going on there. This is the third batch. Actually, this is bottle number 128. Handwritten on the back. I mean, it's very, very small if they're still doing that. Batch 1 was the Pioneer Edition. Haven't seen it. Batch 2 was the Pedro Jimenez. Haven't seen it. And batch 3 I have is ex-bourbon casks and Rioja a la Vez. I'm sorry, I'm not an expert on Rioja casks, therefore I'm going to just say Rioja. Whiskey base number 170337. This is 46%. This is double distilled. This is non-chilled filtered. This is natural color. It's actually on the label. Well done, guys. Bravo, bravo, bravo. And I paid 50 euros basically for this, 49.90. So the very, very interesting thing about this is the distillery is basically a grain to glass distillery. So in the same region that they are in Spain, there's a region called Navarra. I'm sorry, I've never been up there. I've been to Spain a few times, but not there. And they actually have homegrown grain out from the region. And then what they do is they malt it. Malt is actually trying to trick the barley into thinking it's springtime, and it then starts to germinate. And you stop that germination process with heat. And for me, the heat is like a toaster. So at my toaster at home, we have the settings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So setting 1, you put it in there, and it's just lightly toasted, and it's not enough. Chart number 2, it's like, oh, this is almost perfect. All right, so it's light yellow going, turn a little bit in the golden brown. That's what I like. Char number 3. I'm sorry, char number. It's not the char. It's the level number 3 is what my wife likes. A little bit darker brown. 4 is actually turning almost black, and 5 is like, I don't know whoever uses that. I really don't know. All right, good. And the same thing happens with our malt. We have malt that is barely at all touched by the heat, enough to stop the germination, but it doesn't caramelize, it doesn't change that malt. Then we have the next level for me, which would be the Pilsner malt, which we use for the beer. And the next level up would be the Munchner malt, which is actually stronger caramelized. We actually have a Karamalz, which is even more, and then you have even one level up, which the barley turns into like black, almost like coffee beans. And so the higher up, the longer you add heat to the barley, the more of a mocha, more of a coffee, more of a bitter, more of a type of chocolatey note you're going to get. And so they used a mixture of the Pilsner, nice, normal, and the Münchner, a little bit of the mocha moments there. So this was actually aged in, as I said, ex-bourbon cask. Where they got them from, I don't know. And the Rioja, which is regional as well, which is great. Now, there was a wax seal. So I actually had to take my knife and cut around here to get it open. There was no little string or anything to do that. It worked out just fine. I can't complain that much, but I couldn't have done it just by twisting. So that was an interesting little thing there. Picasso is what you can see here, a little bit of an homage to him and to that area of the life. Okay. So as I said, the Cagot were some discriminated little tiny groups, maybe even all the way back to the 15th century. Yeah. Okay. Basically, what the Basque Moonshiners want to say with this is we're against discrimination. And I think that's something we all have to support and say, yes, well done. So, on the nose. Uh-oh, I'm very, very young. It's green. I'm not a big fan of the green stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take something from Switzerland. This is Lagertun, and this is Jacob's Dram, and this is actually also matured and finished in the Pinot Noir cask. Unfortunately, this is 49.12%, not 46. Why? Because of the zip code of the city or the village in Switzerland. It's 4912, and they actually distill or dilute the whiskey down to 49.12%. So forgive me, I have a little bit left in my glass from my German video. All right, so what we have here is a whiskey, in my personal opinion, that is unfortunately too young. It's green. Green is what I mean when I'm talking about chewing on a twig from spring. It's very woody. It's very green. It's very it's almost like a vegetable oil type of moment. Yeah, twig, spring. I am getting a little bit of that mocha moment here from the Munchner Malt, I think. Not getting much of the vanilla from the bourbon casks, but I am getting red wine. I like Rioja. I really enjoy a good Rioja, a good red wine, but I really wouldn't be able to identify it. The color is amazing. I mean, come on, that's a great, great color. This is not a bad color, but this, in comparison, is just fabulous. All right. Um, I expect them to do good things in the future. AGOT is not yet where it should be. I'm going to wait 2 or 3 years until I buy another bottle, and then I'm going to try it again, and hopefully they'll be exactly at the point that they need it. Now, maybe someone out there can answer the question is, where is this green note coming from? Is it the distillation process? I think so. Is it actually the fermentation process because of the yeast, maybe, the type of yeast they're using? I didn't read anything about the yeast. Is it the wood? I think they're using ex-bourbon, so I'd guess it's fairly young, so they might have a first fill bourbon, and they probably have first fill red wine as well. I don't think that's actually a note that I'm getting here from from the wood, from the barrel. I have gotten this quite a few times, that green note on very, very young rye. There might be some type of enzyme or some type of congeners in there that need some time with the wood to interact to actually be changed or to be modified into something that is actually more of an ester, more of a nice, beautiful moment, a fruity moment. So the green needs to turn into a little bit of a fruit, which is not there yet. And the red wine isn't going to just cover up that greenness either yet. All right, cheers. Hmm. Wow. Wow. I'm going to try to describe this. Take something like a vodka or aquavit, put it in a freshly used red wine glass, and actually put in a little bit of wood chips. Leave it there for like 20 minutes and then taste it. That's what I'm getting. It's not very delicious, is it? Is it? No. Wow. The wood is definitely there. I'm not even sure the size of the casks they were using. I have the feeling that these are smaller casks. I might be totally wrong. No information whatsoever about that. If they were the typical bourbon barrels, 200 liters, great. If it's a typical barrique here from Rioja, which would be about 220, great. A little bit of a bitter type of aftertaste. Very woody, very, very vegetal. So just going over to the lager tune for a moment. Much, much fruitiness. Nice. Hmm. That's a whiskey I would drink again and again. Not wow, but very nice. This, unfortunately, is just immature. It's not exactly where it should be yet. Looking forward to the future. Basque moonshiners, keep up the good work. If I have said anything that is incorrect, please down in the comments correct me or contact me at whiskyjason@gmail.com, and I'll try to get everything back into the normal realm of things. Yes, so that's the way things are. I'm going to give this a whiskey a D for taste and a D for value for money. I'm not willing to pay 50 euros for a 3-year-old whiskey and not have it taste at least good, if not delicious. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. Please tell others. My question of the day is, what other distilleries or what other brands of whiskey do you know from Spain? As I said, we have Abducted, which was whiskey taken from Scotland and then aged and bottled in Spain. We have Nomad, same story. Richard Patterson basically took some single malt Scotch, took it down to Spain, bottled it there. Is it DYK? I'm not sure of the other distiller, big distillery actually in Spain, doing a lot of supermarket whiskeys. Anything else? Tell me down in the comments. I need to know. I need to learn because Spain is not an area at the moment. It's on my whiskey radar. All right, thank you very much. Whiskey Jason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. All the best. See you soon. Bye bye.